hear young people speak about the issues we care about with youth mental health, to celebrate our resilience over the pandemic, and the accomplishments of Youth Move Ohio. I've been a member of Youth Move in Nami, Ohio since I was in high school, and for those of you who aren't familiar, Youth Move is a mental health advocacy group which supports the behavioral health needs of multi-system youth across the state of Ohio. We're supported by our parent agency, the National Alliance on Mental Illness of Ohio, and over the last 2 years, we've had youth involved every step of the way in major initiatives that help support youth in Ohio. These include providing youth voice at the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services to develop mobile response and stabilization services, or MRSS. MRSS is a mobile crisis response model in which a team of trained mental health first responders meet youth and families who are in crisis where they are. We're very happy to have the support of Governor DeWine and the department leaders to help meet that goal and making sure families have access to MRSS in every county across the state of Ohio. This will help create better options for youth and reduce emergency hospitalizations, give youth access to immediate behavioral health services, and reduce behavioral health calls to police. Another big victory we had, and we're celebrating, is the creation of the first ever state certification for youth peer support in Ohio. For the past 10 years, youth advocated and leaders around Ohio have worked endlessly with state partners to bring peer support certification here. Over the pandemic, I helped a team researching evidence-based practices to help guide the development of peer support. And in my not-so-expert opinion, we are now on par with some of the best youth peer support programs in the country. In each of these settings, we've had youth providing input at every stage of the process. Youth who were navigating other jobs, school, and mental health struggles of their own. And they did this because they care about developing a stronger Ohio for youth, particularly through the pandemic. I joined Youth Move to help my peers advocate for services and supports to help multi-system youth around Ohio. This year, despite my own personal challenges, I was able to graduate from Harvard University, and this was thanks in no small part to Youth Move and the help it offered me over the pandemic. Once again, thank you so much for showing up to support youth mental health needs. I'm here because I know the impact that these programs can have. And today I have the honor of introducing several speakers to talk about the huge progress our organization has made over the pandemic as a celebration of resilience. And please join us for the rest of the day's events, Resiliency Ring at the Sheridan Hotel Luncheon, where we'll be hearing personal stories and a few words from Ohio's Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services Director, Lori Chris. Our next speaker will share about their perspective on the efforts of the pandemic, effects of the pandemic on youth in school. Please welcome Leliana Signal.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, good morning, I guess I should say. Good morning. My name is Leliana Signal. I am a recent graduate from West High School. I am 19 years old, and I am here because I am celebrating the resiliency of myself and my peers. When I think about resiliency and what makes me resilient, the first thing I think is, what does not make me resilient? My entire life has been a test of resilience, filled with struggles and trauma. I've worked every day to overcome the barriers before me. I have lived through poverty, witnessed violence in my community, experienced the emotional and mental impact of injustice. On top of all of this, I have supported my peers through the challenges of completing high school during the global pandemic. While our personal challenges are unique, the pandemic has affected me and my peers in much the same exact way. As a generation, we have had to navigate social isolation, virtual learning, and adjusting back to constantly changing social rules and norms, when we really haven't been able to adjust to life in the first place. I see many of my peers struggling. This is why I joined NAMI and Youth Move Ohio, to try to advocate for mental health services and support for my peers. Because of my personal experience, I know that youth need to have access to mental health services exactly where they are. We need to make sure that we have access to support what we need and try to rebuild positive social connections and emotional support that we have lost during this pandemic. I am a strong advocate for certified peer supporters to be available in schools to meet students where they are. I am proud of the work we have done in the Department of Mental Health to bring peer support to Ohio, especially Youth Move, because I know that it makes a huge difference. As a member of Youth Move Ohio, I was able to have access to a strong peer network when I needed it the most. More youth need trained peers who can also support them. I am strong and resilient because despite all the adversity I have faced, I continue to succeed and move forward. I help my family, I help my siblings, and I also help my peers by simply being the amazing role model that I have been. I'm also a huge leader in my community. I am strong by using my voice to help create change that is necessary. Also, to lift my community. I want you to hear that it is important for youth to have safe spaces to grow and to be healthy. Most importantly, to support each other. Thank you for your time.
I asked Leliana for walk-on music before this. We couldn't get it set up, unfortunately, but if you want to hear her music, you can come this afternoon to the Resiliency Ring events at the Sheraton Hotel, where we'll be hearing from even more youth speakers. Up next, I can't think of anyone more qualified in the state to talk about the progress we've made on youth peer support in the last 2 years. Please welcome Youth Peer Support Curriculum Project Lead, Kaley Dylan.
Hello everyone, my name is Kaley Dylan and I am a youth leader, and for the past 2 years I have been the youth project lead on the development of the Youth Peer Support Curriculum certification in Ohio. So I'm super happy to be standing here before you all today and announce we have a full certification for youth peer support in Ohio. We are going to teach our youth peer supporters to help our youth to become more resilient. Our youth peer supporters are going to be people aged 18 to 30 who have a lived experience in mental health and other youth serving systems. And they're going to be able to reach out to youth and really help support them and build that resiliency towards a more resilient Ohio. We are in the process of training everyone right now. And so we are currently we have gone through a facilitation training. So all of this training is youth peer supporters working with youth. Everything is youth-led, which is super important because we are resilient and we are able to get through challenges and support each other. And so now that we've been through these facilitation trainings, we're now beginning to do pilot trainings and roll it out throughout the state of Ohio. So an important part of this program's role is the support and implementation of both a Medicare rule as well as a rule that outlines the roles and responsibilities of not just youth peer support, but family peer support as well as adult peer support. So there's now going to be a structure in Ohio for not just youth peer support, but we have family peer support as well as adult peer support. And so the Medicaid rule allows peer support to be recognized as a billable service, which expands the reach that youth peer support can have on Ohio's youth. I'm so thankful to be a part of this work and give support to youth that I did not have in my childhood. We are here today to celebrate resiliency and the ability of Ohio youth to overcome. Youth peer support plays a key role in uniting youth with shared experiences and supporting the resiliency of tomorrow. Thank you.
said, for the last 10 years. And so the fact that we could come together over the pandemic and make some of these goals we've been working on for years happen, I think really speaks volumes about the dedication of the youth in Youth Move and how hard we've been working. So thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you at the Resiliency Ring events.